It is my pleasure to call upon to the stage the Minister of Health of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. Budi Gunadi Sadikin.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I intentionally bring Wilson, whatever, coffee shops. First, I would like to share with you why you need to help and invest in Wilson and Indonesia now. Yeah? First of all, I'm trying as hard as I can to convince the next president, like what you do also, most of you, that, hey, health is important. Yeah? Health is important. Because both of them would like or aspire to be a high-income country like Singapore in 2045. I said to them, hey, high-income country is simple. GNI per capita, 14,000. Now we are 4,800. The second thing about high-income country, if you see the history of nations, most of the nations reach high-income country during the peak of their demographic bonus. And the argument is very simple. Because during the peak of demographic bonus, you have most of the people at the productive age. Of course, you can reach them. And I share with them, our peak of demographic bonus will happen in 2030, 6 years from now. If we fail to increase our GNI per capita from 4,800 now to 14,000 by 2030, 2035, 6 years to 11 years from now, our population will start aging, and it will be more and more difficult for us to break the high-income country barrier. Because we need a lot of productivity. Because again, our population are aging. So the reason why I would like to share it with you, because I want to push the new president, you have to do it quickly. The windows of opportunity will start open in the next 6 years. And then after 5 years after that, it will become more and more difficult. You have to move quickly. So that's why I share it also with you. If the president moves quickly, then it is the time for you to come in quickly. And notwithstanding, as a banker, I understand, because the interest rate is high in the United States, then all money is going there. So when all the money is going there, what happened with the Indonesian environment? The price becomes cheap. Because no money will come to Indonesia. Only a few selected smart investors like you are that have the inner information understand, hey, it is the time to come to Indonesia. Why? Because it's very low price. Because the money is going outside. Then there is an opportunity, and the timing is now, because this is where the beginning, the government will push. Because they do have ambition to leave a legacy, I'm the president, that bring Indonesia from G20 to G7. Because when we reach, 14,000 GNI per capita, our GDP total will maybe 3.5 trillion US. That is the size of G7 countries. So that is the first argument. You have to come, and you have to come now. Now the opportunity in healthcare sector. Why you have to come to healthcare sector? Because it's big. It's not only timing, it's low price, it's also big market. I have my Singaporean friends here sitting there. The average life of Singaporean is 84 years old. And the average spend 3,300 US per annum. Average Indonesian life, 72. I think me and Pak Frankie are closer to that numbers compared with most of you. And we spend only 140, you can Google, per capita per annum. Malaysia is our closest, 76 years average. They spend 430. 300 US different with Indonesia, Singapore 3,000 US different with Indonesia. I'm 60, I just turned out 60. Indonesia 60 is categorized as elderly. And you get, free this one, whatever certificate for life. It's very depressing for somebody that just reached 60, because the government will treat you as elderly. So I'm in denial mode now. So that's why I registered for Berlin Marathon now, and I insist that I would like to finish 6 majors before 65, as a deniability of myself become old. But talking about age, that is not that I don't expect you to clap on me, but what I would like to share with you, I'm healthy. So I'm thinking Indonesian people will become healthier. So if in the next 5 years, we increase our average life to Malaysia, 76, if our healthcare system as efficient as Malaysia, which is we are not, then automatically we will spend more, 300 US more. 300 US multiplied by 280 million, 81 billion US dollar. If we go to Singapore level, like Bunching from Temasek, in the next 10 years, 15 years, automatically our healthcare spending will spend, close to Singaporean level. If our healthcare system is efficient as Singapore, minimum. 3,000 US multiplied by 280 million, 810 billion healthcare spending will happen. Usually, as a banker, we divide into 3. 1/3 for hospital, healthcare services, 1/3 for pharmaceutical company, 1/3 for, the medical devices company. So whatever you want to invest, if you invest in healthcare, now in Indonesia, the potential upside is huge. Because why? Because life is priority number 1. When I knew Pak Frankie 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was a banker with him, he always WhatsApp me, what is the return of capital, investment, etc. Now he WhatsApp me, what are the best doctors, what is the best medicine, So I can see the priorities. People are more afraid to die than people are afraid to be poor. When you are rich, you have to choose. Oh, you can get another, $1 billion US in 1 year, but you die next week. Or you will lose, 500 million, but you die another 15 years. You know what Frankie will choose. So that's why the priority is very, very high. And the opportunity is big. So you have to invest now, because the price is low, and the government is very committed. And number 2, the opportunity is big. The third thing that I would like to share with you is where to invest. Where to invest. First, I'm coming from banking. I understand that Pak Prabowo want to have 8% GDP growth, which is extremely difficult. But Ibu Sri Mulyani try to calculate what do we need to have an 8% GDP growth. You need capital expenditure, investment. Investment has been calculated 6,600 trillion every year. Government budget 3,000 trillion every year. Maybe we pay the salary 1,500 trillion every year. We pay subsidy and really unneeded whatever expenses, disbursement to the regional government. Maybe what we can spend for capital expenditure for government budget is only 600 trillion, 800 trillion. It will not move the needle of 6,600 trillion requirements. So I try to convince my team in Ministry of Health. If I just get a loan from World Bank, syndication, 4 billion US, so the government can spend money, put in our fiscal budget. The job of me and the job of all of my people is to make sure it is a catalyst, so the private sector can come in and invest in healthcare sector 5 times leverage. So if I get 4 billion, then I will tell my people, hey, you have to write regulations, make it simple, easy, attractive, so all people sitting here will invest 5 times 4 billion, 20 billion US in the next 5 years investing money. Then you are successful as regulators. Because the government money will not move the needle. If we want to grow and become a high-income country, we need private sector by Pak Frankie that have a very good, strong balance sheet, leverage his balance sheet and invest in Indonesia 5 times the leverage. So I talked to Pak Jokowi, IKN, many investors protesting you. It's easy actually to argue back with them, How much money you give to Pak, whoever the CEO of IKN? 100 trillion? Give him target. In the next 5 years, you have to bring in capital investment 5 times leverage. 500 trillion private money. If that is coming in, then everybody will see, oh, he is successful. So you have to give a target, all your ministers, not to make the regulation more complex. You have to rate them, you have to give them KPI. If I give you, this is my annual fiscal budget to you, you have to invite private sector investor 5 times leverage. So that is also the reason why, at least in health, we are doing it, so that it's time for you to come in. Because the regulation will be bypassed. Regulation will be, we will make it easier for you to invest. And you can ask Wilson. It's not easy to convince Wilson to come to this one, right? But then I convinced Wilson, this is the second industry that have the, regulatory sandbox that came from finance. You can play around within the sandbox. The healthcare now have a regulatory sandbox. I will give you whatever you need to access. If you have problem, just call me, WhatsApp me, I will do it. Just to make sure that the private sector come in. And I give examples to my people also to do it. So that is the reason. And where to invest? In healthcare sector, it's very important to keep people healthy, not to cure sick people. Why US is very expensive, 11,000 US just to reach 79 years old, compared with Singapore, 84 years old, only spend 3,300? Because the US is very focused on curative, very focused on to cure sick people. The Singaporean is focused on promotive and preventive, to keep people healthy. Doctors are being trained 20 years to cure sick people. That's why in Singapore, you never see a health minister has a doctor background. Because the Singaporean want to keep people healthy. Every time I meet with a Singaporean, I feel very depressed. I have 10 team Indonesian, 10 Singaporean team. The first difference, the body size. Indonesian is like pandu, The Singaporean is like bucing. The second difference, the color of the drinks. The Indonesians are colorful, red, green, yellow, the color of the drinks. The Singaporean, water. All of them drink water only. The third difference, we have 2 options, steak or fish. The Indonesian have 8 steak and 2 fish. The Singaporean have 10 fish. So that's why they are very focused on promotive and preventive. Although during my discussion with Ong Ye Kang, Mr. Ong Ye Kang, the SDG 3, the healthcare target, is to promote healthy life and well-being for all people in all ages. Yes, Singaporeans are healthier, but I don't think they're happier than Indonesia. We can see Pandu smile, bigger than his neighbor. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's spend and invest in promotive and preventive actions. We have 10,000 puskesmas in every district. We have 85,000 puskesmas pembantu at villages. We have 300,000 posyandu in all the hamlet. We will equip them with a screening and vaccinations to all of those people. And that needs technology. We'll digitalize all of them. I signed a deal with Elon Musk to provide Starlink connections to all 10,000 puskesmas at remote islands. So the digitalizations for the healthcare services do promotive and preventive will be flourished. And that will be a great opportunity for you to invest in whatever, subsector that you would like to do. The second investment that I would like to advise to you is on the biotechnology side. Because we are building the platform of biotechnology. Yeah. Indonesia, starting last year, start developing the second population database. Every country have the demographic population databases. Name, address, birth date, sex, you have it. Indonesia, starting last year, built the second population database, the clinical database. Budi Sadikin, address, age, latest cholesterol data, latest hypertension data, latest CT scan data, latest MRI data. In the new law, all 3,200 hospitals, 25,000 primary healthcare clinics, 12,000 pharmacies, 6,000 labs, they are mandatory to submit the data, digital data, with our standard format to the government databases. Opt out. So the default is it. You want to get out privacy, you sign the paper. So we will have a massive, clinical data coming in from our populations. So not only name, address, job, but also cholesterol data, hypertension data, CT scan data, MRI data. And this year we will start to develop the third population databases, the genomic databases. 10,000 this year, and we will try to increase to Ines 400,000. She wants to give me 100,000, I want to give her the target 400,000 in the next 5 years. Budi, how can we go faster than Singapore? The Singaporeans start earlier, but the cost of sequencing is 1,000, whatever, 5,000 US. Now we started with the new T20 from BJ China, we can reduce it below 200 US for the whole genome sequence, 2 billion base pair. So it's like when you invest in computers, when you buy old computers, the price is very expensive, the memories and processing capacity. No, it's very cheap. So we are lucky that we enter late because we enter with a cheaper price structure. And then not only Budi Sadikin, address, sex, birthday, hypertension data, cholesterol data, MRI data, CT scan data, but also BRCA1, BRCA2, MGMT, EGFR, all the genomic data. And can you imagine we can do massive machine learning, big data analytics, and artificial intelligence combining these three. Of course, should be an Indonesian company. Maybe East Venture as one of the investor, and we share benefit. I'm a banker, so I know the value of data. Yeah, I know the value of data. Let's share the benefit, let's share the upside. Yeah, let's share the benefit, let's share the upside for the country. So that is two types of investment that you can do because the government are pushing it into that directions. I would like to close. During crisis, I'm a banker. I met with the Western bankers. They said, Budi, you have nothing left on your right side of balance sheet and you have nothing right on your left side of balance sheet. It took me 30 seconds to understand what they're meaning. And then after that, I met with a banker in China, from China, different type of bankers. They said, Budi, in China, in crisis, we have, we call it Wei Qi. Wei Qi have two characters. The first character, Wei Xun, means danger. But the other character, Xi Wei, means opportunity. Different, eh? Nothing left on your right side, nothing right on your left side. The other one, yeah, you have danger, but you have opportunities. So if you see the smart investors see the opportunity side, and they make tons of money, like Pak Budi Hartono when they buy BCA. So ini I give it the challenge back to you. Do you want to make a lot of money by investing in Indonesian healthcare sector now when the price is low, or you'd like to withdraw and see somebody else make that amount of return? Thank you.